Okay, so good morning, everyone. I am going to be multitasking here, doing my makeup, and then also just kind of doing some reflection. I was recently dating someone it was going so well. For those of you that remember the post that I did about who I'm calling in, he basically marked off every single box on that list other than he doesn't work in technology. There's some things on that list that are non-negotiables, and then there are other things that, I can kind of just see the person and just kind of, see if that's something that is a non-negotiable or not. And height really isn't a non-negotiable. That's not as important as character, right? Definitely learned a lot in this relationship, and he was very promising. Chemistry wasn't there on my part immediately or much, I would say, but I felt like I was being superficial and vain, and like, what does that matter? Really, at the end of the day, it's personality and character, which it is, but chemistry is also, I'm hardwired for chemistry. Like, I have to have chemistry with the person. And I think I feel a little bit of shame and guilt about that because I feel like it is vain, and I didn't like the way my ex, it was just constantly, everything was about looks, and I just felt like I was never good enough. And so, like, I never want to make somebody else feel that way. But it is important. So definitely want chemistry along the way. Sorry for the setup here. Until I get my actual setup for my podcast, then this is the way it's going to be. I kind of MacGyver everything. Okay, so checked off so many things, and it was like, oh my gosh, is this the one, right? Like, he cooked, he spoiled me. My Valentine's Day was amazing, had beautiful roses and chocolates, and just really put in a lot of effort. He was always extremely responsive. And I'm not getting paid, but dermatology is one of my favorites. I don't put foundation on my skin. This is SPF, and then so it protects, and then it has like a whole bunch of minerals and crap. But I really like the way it looks on my skin. It does look like a tiny bit of like a glow, and I really love this stuff. But anyway, not getting paid, but love it. So I highly recommend this stuff. It's all I use on my skin. I've never used foundation on my skin. I will just use that, and I'll show you what else I use. But anyway, you just put a little bit on. But anyway, so this is for my girlies that are dating, because there's like rumors that the dating world is trash. I'm here to tell you that it all begins with you, what you are calling in, what your thoughts are, become your reality. And so everything that I had on this list, this guy like pretty much marked off. He was not in technology. Again, not a deal breaker. He was not exactly 6 foot tall, I don't think, but again, not a deal breaker, right? Like, didn't have a man bun, not a deal breaker. Did have longer hair and a beard, so that was really cool. But again, chemistry is important and just was lacking there. So my point is, for this whole entire conversation that I'm rambling on about, he like played guitar, sang. Ooh, there's a cutie. Hello. Sorry. So he played the guitar, he sang, he did all the things, put in the effort. Every morning there was a good morning. Every night there was a phone call. We spoke for hours. We had a lot of things in common. He was into philosophy. I'm into spirituality. But there are really some things that I learned along the way that it wasn't going to work out. And I feel like my intuition knew that. There were just some things that were not exactly right. And not that things have to be perfect, but if you have certain things that are important to you, then it's important that you don't shrink or put those to the wayside if they are important to you. So his value, one of his top values, was education. My top value, and while I am, or I thought that I was a sapiosexual, I think that I don't want to be a sapiosexual, because I find that lots of men that do have that high intense intellect, um, they lean on that, and it becomes about academia and not about embodiment and in integration. And that's where my values are in embodiment and integration. Like, if you're going to learn and memorize all the things and not be the things, then it's useless. You're in debt for nothing. And so I really hold that embodiment integration piece very highly. Another value of mine that I'm learning is accountability. I am very self-aware. I am extreme, like, I take accountability oftentimes. I've tried to always be that way, because that's really where I level up and become a better version of myself, or a version of myself that I like more, maybe. But accountability is huge. And so where we ended was that there was no accountability for a pretty large decision, bad decision that he made. That affected himself more so than me, or I was willing to work through this with him, but he moved into blaming me for his actions, and that's not okay with me. And I'm not coming from a space of I'm this or that, right? Like, I'm coming from a space that I have been him. I have done those things. My last relationship, there was a lot of where I would do those things, but I am now calling in someone that's kind of at my level, and I don't like saying levels, but kind of where I am as far as taking accountability, embodiment, and being able to work through conflicts on their own and then together. And so that's something that he is still healing from. So maybe the whole purpose of this relationship that we had, as short as it was, I was able to learn what really is important to me on that list that I made. I'm also able to refine that list a little bit more. I'm definitely seeking someone that has that masculine presence, and not masculinity as in ego, but masculinity as in safety. And I did calm with this guy. This has been the first time in my entire life, and after a 17-year relationship with someone, that my nervous system was entirely dysregulated, entirely just trying to figure out what he wanted and be that person and do those things. And this is the first time, I think, in my life that I had a man that my nervous system just calmed and just was regulated, and I felt safe with him emotionally. And that was really interesting to see and to feel. But when there was conflict more recently, last week, or earlier this week, last week, when there was conflict on a behavior and action that he made a very bad decision on, and I made my own decision that I would not partake in what he was deciding on, I was willing to work through that with him. And because we're all human and we make bad decisions and we make mistakes, and so I was willing to work through that with him. And as embarrassing as it was, for all involved, it was something that I was like, okay, maybe I should have a little bit more compassion and understand that I'm not going to get a perfect person, right? Like, we are all human and we make mistakes. But when someone turns that around and makes it as though I am somebody that put them in a situation to make that mistake, I'm not. That's not, I don't condone it. I'm not tolerating it. There was a line of disrespect that was crossed as far as the way that I was spoken to. I was willing to talk and work through that. But what I did ask for was some time and space. I just needed some time to process things, to see maybe is there anything that I could have done differently. I wanted to talk about what moving forward would look like, what different actions might he take. And he just wanted to jump right into feeling better, not feeling shame, and move on with life as though nothing happened. That's not okay with me either. Um, and so I basically, we ended it, and he said, I just, if you need time and space, then I don't need to prove myself to you, and I'm a good person. I don't need to prove myself to you. And I was like, if we can't work through conflict, then I don't know what to tell you. I agree. Like, that's not, if you can't give me time and space, like, you apologize to me, and it's up to me whether or not I accept that. And I did, but I still need to process. And earning trust back it takes some time. And he didn't want to give that to me. And so peace out. Like, I'm good with this. Now, 90% of the relationship was great. He was a great human. He would always circle back around to things that I would say. We had very good dialogue. I'm going to lean into the goodness of him. All the things that he did right. That's what I want to focus on moving forward when I think about him, or what I think about what I'm calling in. Because he did respond to my text messages or calls. He would pick up, or he would communicate things. He would make reservations, plan dates. Like, those men are out there, guys, like girls. They're out there. And he is proof of that. There were other things that were missing, sure, but he absolutely has a lot to offer someone once he works through how to deal with conflict, which I believe is a mother wound for him. And so once he does that, more of that healing, I mean, he's just a super great catch. And for the right person that he would be aligned with, that would be a great guy, a great relationship. But I hope that he works through that, because he's not going to manipulate me into staying somewhere where I don't feel safe anymore. So I'm single again. What I'm calling in next is all the same things on that list, but definitely, I can't multitask, but Il Maquillage. Yes, queen. These are like, oh, love it. A little expensive, but worth it. And I just love Il Maquillage. I use for my eyeliner for my cat eyes, and or my witch eyes. And Il Maquillage, this is like the plump or something, for those of us that are aging beautifully. But it just really like smooths out everything, which is really nice. But anyway, so what I'm calling in next, everything that was on that list. Still want somebody that can cook, someone that is into country music, specifically Jonah Kagan, specifically, like, not real country, but like that country folk, Sam Barber, Avery Anna. There's some local artists. The folk is really good. Indie folk like Jerry X, Carrie Courtney, Mark Etherington of Mountain Holler. Like, if you like any of those bands and they speak to you, or those groups or whatever, and they speak to you, and you like can play the guitar or the piano, which this dude could, don't have a fear of social environments. So that's really important to me too, which was not on my list. I really need somebody that is confident in public spaces. Maybe an introvert, somebody that is introverted and extroverted, but somebody that can calmly walk into a room and just has that presence. So that's important. I don't think that was on the list. Somebody that does not have social anxiety. Someone that has a good relationship with alcohol and food, that is also important to me. Something, while we don't have to be perfect, right? Like, I don't want to be working out in the gym for 2 hours a day, or so focused on my physique. I want to focus on how I feel and have that balance. And, I don't want any kind of OCD, like, oh my God, like I can only eat these things that, and just balance, right? So, but somebody that has a healthy relationship with food, health, and alcohol. So don't mind someone that doesn't drink, and I don't mind somebody that can drink, have a glass of wine here or there. But the coming home after work and having a 6-pack or drinking every single day is a hard no for me. Those days that's not okay for me anymore. And that's something that I learned through the last 3 guys that I have dated. I see that was a pattern with all 3. And so that won't be tolerated. That's just a red flag for me. Let's see. So confidence, social confidence. I would like somebody that has their own support group, their own network of friends. I don't want to be the person that's bringing the friend group in. We should merge friend groups or maybe find mutual friends together, because we're both, kind of outgoing and kind and friendly and love adventure and love dancing and music and those sort of things. But I do not want to date somebody that has one friend. That's not okay for me. So yeah, I just learned to just refine this list that I have. I definitely love the reading part, and to be able to just sit in silence and us both just read and do something that we love. I don't like watching movies too often or shows that often. I would rather be out in nature. I would rather be cooking. I would rather be out eating or socializing or meditating. Oh, that's a nice puppy stretch. Do you want to do a puppy stretch with me, Oreo? Oh, that's so nice. Oh, I needed that. That was great. Oh, that feels so good. I love that. Okay. I'm rambling. Let's see what else. Definitely responsive. So all the same things on that list that I had originally. So responsive, leads, is a man that makes reservations. I don't want to fucking think. After my days of just being over analyzing or being in my head or being out in nature, processing, reading, learning, working on my business, working on public speaking, looking for a bridge position, all of the things that I've got going on, I would love somebody that just takes the lead and is like, we are going to XYZ restaurant at this time, wear your little black dress and meet me there, or put some jeans on and a t-shirt, we're going to this dive bar to watch this really great group. So all of that sounds amazing to me. Yeah, I am ready. I mean, I manifested this last one and he was absolutely great, but we need to work through conflict. We need to be able to have chemistry too, like where I feel proud to be standing next to the person. I am not, a 10 out of 10 by any means, but looks are in the eye of the beholder type of thing. And there has to be some chemistry and some spark there too, to build on the rest of it, and to have that, the rest of it working forward. But that growth mindset is important to me, that abundance mindset, that embodiment, integration, all of that. So ladies, it is really important too. So what did this teach me, right? So like, I need to be hitting the gym again. Obviously I had some surgeries that were pretty debilitating. I have a torn ACL, MCL, 5th metatarsal was broken. I can get through that. Like, I don't care, like, what I allowed to prevent or to stop me what I allowed to stop me from going to the gym was not healing and processing and facing the shadow of my ex and my former friend, and they are both involved with the gym so much that it was almost like a trigger for me to go. And I'm over that. Like, I'm over that. Like, I love working out. I love lifting. My daughter still lifts intensely. Like, she's amazing. And I need to have that relationship with myself where I'm back in there. I felt my strongest. I felt my best when I was fit and healthy, and I felt strong and amazing, and my clothing fit me, and I freaking love clothing. So, like, I'm gonna go back to the gym. And I mean, I have weights here and I do lift every once in a while, but not the way that I was. I was supposed to be going towards competition. And I just gave that up because it was just so much of a trigger for me. Every time I was in there, I would be thinking about them or her. And maybe I felt like I just wasn't up to par, and it's not about her. It's about how I feel. And there is no competition. And she can be beautiful, and she can be with my ex, and they can be aligned, and they can be working on their lives together. And that has nothing to do with me. And that has nothing to do with what I'm calling in and what is meant for me. And if I'm calling in somebody that has a healthy relationship with alcohol and food and the gym, then that's what I need to embody. So that's what I learned from this last relationship, is that I need to embody and integrate what I'm calling in. So healthy relationship with alcohol, healthy relationship with my body and working out, and also what I'm ingesting and putting into my body, which I do love me some chocolate. So like, that's not going to be like, I'm still going to have my chocolate and my ice cream, my vanilla with rainbow sprinkles, like that's happening. But I want to make sure that I am feeding my body well and nourishing my body, because that's what I want on the other half of me, in that partnership. And so these are just things that I learned through this last dating experience that I had. And I'm not bitter. I'm not hurt. I'm not angry. I was frustrated. I'm not going to lie. The way that it ended, I was just like, you little hypocrite. Like, it is really sad that you're in such debt for a degree where your literal job is working through conflict and teaching people how to work through conflict, and you cannot do that yourself. So that got me a little irritated. I'm not going to lie, but he's blocked. He's blocked because there was a tone there that I was like, I'm just gonna move on and concentrate on all the goodness that he showed. But only time will tell when you're in a relationship, and working through conflict is something that I have not been good at, and I have not done well. And so this was an opportunity for me to be able to show compassion and to work through something with someone. But it takes two, and if they cannot do that, then peace, I'm out. All right, I'm gonna finish putting on my makeup and getting on with my day. I'm updating my resume and my speaker sheet, and really focusing on getting that out there, because I am looking for a bridge position until I can start accruing more clients for my speaking and workshops and things of that nature. And I want to welcome people to ask me questions, or give me feedback, or troll me. I don't fucking care. Like, do it all. Like, just give it to me. And I would like to pick out ones and do like little videos and responses and see if I can help people. I keep being told that I need to start a channel and do these things, and I always cringe and I'm like, I don't know, I don't think I'm good at it. But I mean, you gotta start somewhere. And I have had people say that they have been moved and that their lives have gone on a different trajectory because of things that I've said or things that I've done, or they process things differently. And I do understand that I am a different type of person. I don't really hold bitterness. Um, I'm very self aware and I've lived through a lot. And so I do have a lot to offer. And I'm always learning from others too. Like, I learned from this last dude, like, so much. And I'm very grateful for our experience together. I'm grateful and I appreciate him and the effort that he's shown. And I really wish him well. And upward and onward. I'm excited to see who I meet next. And hopefully it'll be the last one, right? Like, hopefully it'll be my partner, my person, and I will get that wedding and that commitment and that forever person that I share my days with, monogamously, and travel with and build businesses together and have conversations and try new restaurants. And yeah, that all seems amazing. So I'm going to refine my list a little bit more. Definitely want a father, somebody that is a parent. I think that that's important. I'm finding, and I didn't know that when I first started dating. I was like attracting these younger dudes that either still wanted kids or had younger ones, and that's all fine and dandy. But I love having the conversation piece and speaking about my daughter and my son and having somebody's eyes light up because they can relate. And this last dude had a daughter, and I love that dynamic and that speaking about our kids and that pride, and that was really, really nice. So I definitely want a father, and also want a person that has or has had a great relationship. If the mom has passed, that's fine, but has a great relationship with their mother and their parents and their family, like a tight-knit family. And yes, we all have fucking conflict with our family, but I definitely love that family environment. And I am looking for calling in someone that has a really good relationship with their mother. I think that that's important. That's something that I've learned in the last few relationships, that mother wounds are not great for working through conflict. And that's the pattern that I'm seeing, is that it's really difficult for gentlemen to work through conflict with their person that they're dating or in their relationship when they have that mother wound. And so I would like to call in someone that is close with their mom, or was, and has that respect for women, and not that faux feminism, but the actual respect for women. That's what I'm calling in as well. So wish me luck.